Welcome to Painted Kids Studio, where we make amazing art videos. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you can be notified every time we post a new art video.
Hello friends and welcome back. I'm so excited for today. Even though this video is a little longer than our previous videos, today we're going to be learning to draw Woody from Toy Story 4, which is about to hit theaters. Now this one is going to be slightly more tedious, but I promise we'll keep it super fun. Alright, so we're going to start with Woody's head, and his head shape is actually a leaf shape that's been cut in half because there's a little bit of a point to his chin because he kind of has this big long chin. Now that we have this shape, we're going to go right into his hat shape. So the first line that we're going to draw for his hat is that underneath part. So we're going to start on one side, we're going to curve out and around and then tuck it back in. So he looks like he has his head inside of his hat. And then we're going to do the brim of his hat, so we're going to start a little further down and just curve up and do that on both sides. And then we're going to connect the two just with a straight line. And now I know technically Woody's hat's a little bit more round, but we're just going with simple, cute shapes here. Then we're going to do the top of his hat, so a little line there, a little line on the other side, and then a curved line on top, and then he has a little detail on his hat, and we're just going to follow that line that we did, just like this, to show the little, change in color there on the hat. Then we're going to do 2 half circles for his ears, and then a smaller half circle on the inside of his ears, just like this. Alright, and now what we're going to do is do his little hair detail. So you're going to do a half oval on either side, so it kind of shows like his little sideburns coming down, and then you're going to do a half circle on top in the center of his hat, just like this. So it's his little front hair poking out from underneath his hat. Now we're going to be doing his body. So on the right side of the head over here, we're going to do just a little short line, just like this. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to save space for his little sheriff's badge without overlapping. So a little line just like this. Then on the other one, we're going to do a nice hook shape and we're going to stop it. So it almost kind of looks like a paper clip almost. And we're going to stop it. Now I'm going to zoom in so I can show you guys. We're going to start with his sheriff's badge. So we're going to straight line, circle, angle down, circle, angle up, angle down, circle, angle up, angle down, circle, angle up, and then up, circle, down. And there's his badge. Now if you want to just do a star and then attach circles to all of its points and then erase the lines, you can also do that too. But this is just a way that you can do the badge quickly without having to erase lines. So now we're going to do his arms, and he kind of has his hands on his hips, so 2 diagonal lines right next to each other, and then you're going to go right on in, so it almost looks like the point of an arrow. And then we're going to do his fist, which is sitting on his hip, so it's going to be a kind of a U shape, not quite a half circle, but kind of like a U or like a bell shape sitting on his hip there. And then I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing, so slanted line on the outside, slanted line on the inside, and then a slanted line on the outside, slanted line on the inside. And instead of going right into his hand, I'm going to do his little gun holster. So I'm going to do a little half circle, and then I'm going to do a straight line and then curve down. And then I'm going to do the U shape, and his hands kind of tucked behind his holster there, just like this. Now I'm going to do a straight line down for his leg, and then another straight line down, another straight line, and I'm letting it get wider a little bit towards the bottom to make room for his boot. So to start his boot, I'm going to do one super thin long rectangle on either side. Now I'm going to do a straight line all the way down, and this will be the length of his boot. So depending on how long you make it will determine how long your boot is. Then I'm going to do a little angle line on either side, but I'm only going to stop halfway. I'm not going to bring it all the way down. Then I'm going to do 2 half ovals on the inside of the boot there. And then I'm going to do a rectangle coming out from the center of that oval, just like this. And that's like his, where his spurs attach in his boots. Then I'm going to do a curved line, just right on the end of that. And then I'm going to do a slight curved line that connects to the heel of his boot to the tip of his boot. And there's his boot. And then I'm going to do a little line just following the very bottom to show like where the sole of his boot is. So there is our Woody so far. It's mostly just his body, but now we're going to add details onto his shirt. So I'm going to do a curved line on his forearm to show like the cuff of his shirt, and then I'm doing circles for the buttons. And then I'm going to move up to his eyebrows at the top here. And I'm just going to keep them very simple, just kind of elongated stretch triangles is kind of what I'm going for. So just up and then curve over and up and connect. So very, very long, almost like if you were to take a triangle and it was melting sideways. That's kind of what it would look like. Now for Woody's eyes, I just did these really big oval kind of shaped eyes with little highlights. So what I'm going to start with first is the circles of the highlight. So there's one circle. There we go, that's better. And then the other circle. And they're going to be in the same place. I'm not switching them because he's going to look cross-eyed. And I'm going to make an oval around that circle. That didn't quite turn out exactly the way I wanted to. Let's try that again. I'm going to do an oval around eye there. There we go, I think that looks a little better. Then we're going to go to the other one. We're going to do an oval around that eye there. And then I'm going to do a smaller circle on the bottom left. And there we go. And then I'm just going to fill this in. And once I have the rest of these eyes filled in, we're going to move on to the rest of Woody's face. Now for his nose, I just wanted to keep it super simple. So right in between his eyes there, I'm going to just do a nice point. There, and then a smile. And then he's going to have his mouth open, so I'm going to make a nice U shape here. There we go. And then a smile inside of his mouth, and that's going to be where his teeth are. And then a half circle for his tongue. And then a little mark underneath for where his little chin is. There we go, just like that. And now we're going to be moving on to the details of Woody's shirt. So I'm going to do 2 half circles for his bandana. I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see the rest of this very clearly. So I'm going to start with a nice curve here to show the top of his bandana. 2 rectangles, one on this side, one on the other side. They're kind of angled down at the halfway mark. I'm going to do a nice V shape. Take the line down and do a circle for his button. Line down, circle for his button, line down, and then I'm going to do a nice big oval shape because that's where his belt buckle is. There we go. Then I'm going to do a line on one side, and then underneath, a line on the other side, and then underneath for his belt buckle. There we go. And now I'm going to start on his vest. So I'm going to do a curved line starting from the center of the square, and then the other side of his vest is going to get tucked behind his back, so I'm going to make sure I draw in between that and not through it. And then I'm just going to make some random kind of squiggly shapes for the cow hide patterns that are on his vest, because that's presumably what his vest is supposed to be made out of. Now I'm going to move back up to his collar, and I'm going to do a kind of slanted line down across, slanted line down across, because I'm just going to start the checkered pattern across his shirt here. Then I'm going to go over to his elbows. I'm going to do a straight line across to connect where his elbows bend, and then I'm going to draw a straight line down, and then I'm going to do it again on his forearm, but I'm going to follow the angle of his arms. I'm not going to go completely straight. Just right in the center there. Now I'm going to do a plus sign across on his forearm on either side, and then I'm just going to make some lines all the way up his arm to give him that nice checkered pattern look of his shirt. Now technically in the movie these patterns are red, so if you want to use like a red colored pencil to make these lines, feel free to do so. Now I'm going to go on his shirt, and where I can, I'm just going to put that pattern down, so a straight line down the front on one side of his shirt. I'm going to go on the other, but it's kind of tucked behind his vest. I'm going to go across, and I'm going to do a couple lines across up, and then I'm going to do two other vertical lines, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw another vertical line that's coming out from behind his vest, and there is our Woody. So he has a bandana, his vest, and his shirt. So now comes the fun part. As you can see, I chose kind of mustard yellow for his shirt, and like I said, the lines in the checker pattern are technically red if you go and actually look at the Toy Story movies. So if you, as you're drawing, if you would like to use red marker, red colored pencil, whatever you want, feel free to do so, or you can just use your marker or pencil, however you want to do it. And with his badge and belt buckle, and then the half circle on his boots is going to be used as a nice gold color to really pop off against that yellow of his shirt. And then obviously I used browns for his belt, his gun holster, his hat, and the rest of his boots as well, with the exception of the little gold that's going to be in the half circle. And then using kind of like a charcoal color for the cow spots, and then inside of his mouth is a darker red, and his teeth are obviously white, and then his tongue is kind of more of a pinky color there. And then his hair is going to be the darkest brown that you use. All the other browns are a little bit lighter. So if you guys like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you want to see more fun videos just like this one. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know, with you guys supporting us and following us, it allows us to continue to do what we do, and that's make awesome art videos for you. And if you guys want to show off any of your own artistic creations, head on over to any of our social media platforms and show off your handiwork. Those links will be in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we'll see you next time.